Schefter and Marcus Spears are with us live. And Schefty, I'm going to start with you. What more can you tell us about what's going on in Carolina?
Shay, the Carolina Panthers have benched the former #1 overall pick that they traded up to acquire Bryce Young in favor of Andy Dalton. The news comes 24 hours after the Panthers head coach Dave Canales said he was sticking with Bryce Young. But clearly, when he got back into the building today, when he met with other Panthers officials, when other people shared their opinions and they had a chance to review the game tape, they decided to make the change. And I think one of the most lasting images that I've seen in the first 2 weeks is in the first week, Dave Canales went over to the bench where Bryce Young had just turned over the football yet again. And he sat down next to Bryce Young, stood next to him, and Bryce Young looked like a broken quarterback. And I think right now they feel like for this franchise to have a chance to win, they need to sit the quarterback that they traded up to get. Look, and we'll see how Bryce Young handles this over the course of his career. But they chose Bryce Young, and C.J. Stroud went #2, and that's always going to be a comparison that this organization faces and has to answer to.
Yeah. Schefty, thank you. Bryce Young has only 2 wins since taking over at quarterback at the start of last season. Marcus Spears, what is your reaction to this, that Carolina is going to bench Bryce Young and bring in Andy Dalton under center?
Very necessary, Shay. Schefty pointed to it. Bryce Young looks broken. He has no confidence standing in the center of the pocket and playing football. And obviously you go with a veteran presence like Andy Dalton, who's played a tremendous amount of football. It's 2 things that can come from this. Bryce Young can benefit from being on the sideline and going through the day-to-day and watching a veteran prepare to play in games and making sure he's understanding how you go about not only the game day, but the week in preparation. And then the other thing is, if his confidence is shot, now you got Carolina in a situation where they have to decide what to do with a guy that they just took first overall 2 years ago. I know we'll have multiple conversations about how bad of a draft pick and the comparisons to C.J. Stroud, which is fair because we do that to everybody. But Bryce Young right now is not in the right mental space to play quarterback in the National Football League. Because here's the bottom line, Shay. It's not going to stop coming at you defensively. Defensive coordinators don't feel bad for you. Defensive players don't feel bad to you. I know a lot of guys in this league personally. When they play Carolina, dudes that have them on their schedule, they look at it as an opportunity to get their numbers up. So hopefully the change with Andy Dalton will not only reshape how the locker room feels and bring a little bit more morale with a veteran being in the game, but also it'll help Bryce Young kind of calm and settle and step away from actually having to play starting quarterback and have an opportunity to observe and watch from the sideline and make a determination mentally where he is and where he wants to go from this point on. I think it's a great move by the Carolina Panthers to give Andy Dalton the keys.
You got to understand where Bryce Young is coming from. I'd feel broken, too. They've been outscored by 60 points through the first 2 weeks of the NFL season. Guys, thank you. We'll be back with you momentarily.